Welcome to Take a Pause with me, Varun Dugirala. Now, we all want to work towards building the right kind of life, right? To be able to perform at our best, be it at work, life, or everything in between. I recently spoke about my own journey to kind of figure those pieces out and even like really digging into mental fitness on The Habit Coach with Ashton. And I thought I'd leave a clip with you guys today for you to kind of tap into to maybe help you kickstart your own journey with it. But before you go there, I want to make sure you hit subscribe and smash the bell icon straight into my chat with Ashton. I'd say the last 3 years for me has also been about really discovering the other side of my interest, right? Which is really like it started off with my interest in fitness. Generally been passionate about fitness for the last 4 or 5 years, have been longer, but I think the true passion has been the last 3 4 years. And that kind of moved me towards just like the mind as well. So you're physically fit, how can you be mentally fit as well? And then went down multiple rabbit holes, which is my favorite thing to do. And then now it's become like I think the biggest passion point in my life is to really focus on understanding mental fitness as a topic and kind of doing more and more about it. I just started doing a course out of Harvard on happiness, which for me has been like mind blowing. That first of all, there is a course on happiness,
Brilliant.
and I realized that there were multiple institutes across the world and specialists who specialize on happiness. Right? No prizes for guessing that the World Happiness Institute is in Copenhagen. Uh, like
World's happiest place.
world's happiest place. So that is obviously like a no-brainer. But it's really been interesting understanding stuff in this space, social sciences, stuff like this. But I think I'm in like day zero. But there's so much to learn.
Where did this change suddenly take place? Was there like a pivotal moment? Did you suddenly have a epiphany during the lockdown? This is around the lockdown, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
mental fitness and all of that
Yeah.
took over.
So I said till 2019, I was pretty much on the standard corporate path, right? You've built and sold a company, you're in a larger ecosystem, spent about good 4 years with WPP, by then about 3 4 years in. And I kind of was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do in life. And I'd had I have a daughter, like great marriage, all that stuff is sorted, right? But at some point, from a professional standpoint, I always kept looking for more things to do. The podcast was a great way for me to kind of channel that out, right? So that became it. But I always would try to find ways to talk about stuff which have always interested me, right? So it started off with like can I do more about music, more about pop culture? But my music and pop culture stuff are never about the actual end product, although I enjoy those as well. It's about how that kind of came to be, right? If you talk to artists and how they come up with things and how their process works, there's so much in the mind,
Yeah.
and there's so much in that entire I'd say following the breadcrumbs of curiosity. So it started off with that.
And I think, just to build on that people don't realize that creativity is actually a system.
Yeah.
Right? They think that creativity is just like a spark will suddenly happen. No, they actually have systems in the way that they get creative.
One of my favorite examples of a system, because you mentioned that, is so Quentin Tarantino was on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? One of my favorite episodes in recent times, because also Quentin can talk and he's got
so many stories. He's got so many stories.
So he spoke about how he shifted his daily schedule. He said he used to always be that guy who would go to a bar in the evening. He would sleep through the morning, wake up by late afternoon, go to a bar in the evening, start writing in the bar till early in the morning, come back home and crash.
Wow.
But as he got married and he was, they think of having a kid, all that stuff, he said, I want to be awake when the world is. So he decided to shift that around. And I love his schedule. I think if I have to ever say that, if there's a schedule I want to kind of like come to in life, it's that. He wakes up in the morning, not too early, like I think 10, 11 is when he wakes up, 10-ish. And he gets into write by about noon. He writes till about 5 and gets out. He has a float on his pool in his house. He's lying there. He runs through. He kind of thinks about everything he wrote that day, and by later in the evening goes for dinner, comes back home and sleeps. And he says that he said he's been so much more, for lack of a better term, productive and a lot more in tune with the world around him because of this shift than he was when he was doing that. Because you always assume, right, an artist is going to be drunk in the bar at
Correct,
night or going for
exactly.
long walks. He's like, no, this system of like lying in the pool after my writing, let me like kind of soak in everything which I've written.
Yeah.
I thought that's damn curious.
It's that active thinking and the passive thinking
Mm.
time. You know, it's why all our best ideas come from the toilet. You know,
Yeah.
like when we're sitting and having a
Toilet,
bath, shower,
washing dishes.
washing dishes. Washing dishes is an interesting one.
Yeah. It's that whole like, so this is something which I remember reading, right, is that it's the whole prefrontal cortex piece. Um, when you are not focusing your mind on what you have to do, on trying to put control over there, um, you're opening up your subconscious to think. So you know how to wash dishes. It's a cyclical, it's a mundane thing, right? You're going. It's like why they say people should go for a walk when you want to come up with ideas.
Hmm.
Your body doesn't need to control you as much, or doesn't have to give you direction as much to do what you have to do, because it's also muscle memory. You can do that stuff. And that's when you kind of open up and ideas kind of pop out. So you need to find your, like, I love washing dishes.
I find washing dishes from a cleaning point of view, like mentally cleaning point of view. So I'm saying, my sins are being washed away. Like,
I hope you got value from that clip from the episode. You can catch the entire conversation. I'm going to link the episode in the show notes, and lots more conversations coming, especially around this space of things. But for that, you got to hit subscribe and smash that bell icon. So do that right away. I'll catch you guys on another episode of Take a Pause with me, Varun Dugrala.